when you're looking at some of these names, obviously we know Jr. is back in the lineup. The starter, Gary Trent Jr. was the starter in that umpire. Maxey doing all he can to try to keep this team competitive, get some wins. As of late, this is his first shot. Brook to Ajax, over to Giannis. But them, Bona defending him. How do you like that? You know, he's a rookie. Here you go. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a defensive assignment. Good luck.
Yeah, there's nothing like a welcome to the league when you get faced up with, matched up with a guy who's the most dominant guy down there in that area. But getting them to miss that first one, but not on this end.
21 actually in that October 23rd meeting.
Yeah, he's a dangerous player. He really is. And, you know, like you said, the Wikipedia of games and teams.
Right. Oh, there's a post to post.
That one, but putting it up there for Brooks to go grab that one. But, and I was making the Wikipedia joke, I was going to say, Oubre, look, he's one of those guys who's been around, a very dangerous player. Maxey, you know, they've got some guys out there, Eric Gordon, especially teammates with him back when he first got drafted with the Clippers 100 years ago.
Ricky Council, might not know that name, his second year at Wichita State and Arkansas, played college ball.
Now, like you said, some nice connects right there. Ajax missing that one, but we'll see how the end of this first quarter ends up, but it sure has been a difference in those last three home games.
How about Brook adjusting to that pass, too? A little bit low, caught it midair, adjusted, and threw it down. Now Brooks get
ultimate vets in this league, one of the oldest guys. Yeah, it's one of those instances, and he was the offensive guru, really knew his stuff. You saw that as he became the head coach in Toronto. Brook missing that one there, and then becoming a defensive guy as well and getting the respect for building the wall against Giannis and those kind of things. But I guess players, they do matter in this league. You got to have enough talent to win games. Sometimes it's tough if you don't.
There's a foul call, an offensive rebound by the...
It's not going to be easy. And
a sweatshirt. It looks like a makeshift sweatshirt.
Oh man, that was straight out of the training room. You could tell just a piece of athletic tape with eagles on it.
Andre Jackson Jr. Lions are out. Of course, I grew up in the state of Michigan, so I just don't care about the playoffs anymore.
Oh, jeez, yeah, it can be. Though it's so much worse. Packers out here like.
I just had to get it out of my system.
I hear you.
I feel much better now.
I know. This time of year can be brutally quick.
30-footer from Dame on the way.
How far away Dame is shooting these threes from, because believe it or not, the NBA three-point line is just 23 feet 9 inches, but Dame ignores that. He tries to shoot it from about 30 plus, it seems sometimes, but I guess that Giannis knows that means long rebounds.
What was equally as impressive, the 28-footer, it ended up being officially a attempt by Dame, but I mean, we're tied at 7. You know, mentioned that the Bucks have won 6 of their last 7, and in a lot of different categories, the 76ers and the Bucks are going in different directions. They come into tonight, they've lost 8 of their last 10. They're on the second game of a back-to-back. They lost to the Pacers last night in Indy. See this zone, Steve, you and I were talking about it. They played a lot last night against the Pacers.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, you were saying, I was watching last night, this is a back-to-back for Philly. They were playing Indiana, they were playing a bunch of zone possessions. Look at Giannis just getting to the middle.
He says,
secret, you want to get the ball in the middle of the zone. If you do, it's got to collapse. They got to figure out matchups. It pretty much becomes man-to-man once you get the ball in the middle. You don't want man-to-man against Giannis.
Whenever I need an answer, I go to Steve Novak, and I was just like, I feel like they haven't played a lot of zone at the beginning of the season, and your numbers said they didn't play any zone in that first meeting.
Yeah, it was 0 possessions. TP missing that 3 right there. But, you know, I do think with some of the injury issues they've had, and certainly some of the matchups, when you're playing against an Orlando Magic, they had some heavy zone possessions or zone games because they're not a good three-point shooting team, but it should not work against this Bucks team with a bunch of shooters.
Step back, points here on the night. Dame launcher.
I felt like he needed to hear the message, you need to be you. He told me that he said to Dame, you're not a guest here. This is your team, and we want you to be aggressive. And he said, I took the opportunity to give a boost to his spirit, and it was about the way he received that message, Lisa.
He could have made that shot during your report, though, Mel.
You know, next time. He clearly didn't hear us talking about him.
That's right. It's a great story. You know, Vin Baker, Doc Rivers even said last year, Vin Baker is like the guy that you need, that sometimes you didn't even know that you needed. Immediately, Doc had that kind of respect for Vin. How about... But Vin, with his wealth of experience, his life story, his demeanor, just so valuable to the coaching staff and, of course, the players. He speaks, everybody listens. There's an hacking. The reasons why some of the most free throw attempts in the league.
Yeah, and to your point, that balance. I think when good hands right there. This is what Philly is good at. They've been hurt. 18 turnovers they created against Indiana just last night for 23 points, and tops in the league at doing exactly that.
Chris looks it off. Ajax, good up fake and finish.
Baseline almost heels out of bounds. It creates spacing, so when his guy goes to help, he can move and get to an open spot, or the defense thinks he's out of the play. They don't respect him, and then zipping it to him like that. Good job finishing.
Steve, you know I love my milestones. That assist for Chris, 3,000 in his career. 3,000. Another and one.
In the history of the world here today.
Cold, but that is inaccurate.
Are you sure it's not the coldest day in the history?
You asked artificial intelligence to be sure. I can vouch for that. Dame driving too strong off the glass.
All right, it's not the coldest, although we did look it up. The coldest is 128 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 128 degrees.
Although before we went on the air, I looked at the temps. It's like 3 degrees.
Which feels like negative 128, which is a real thing. I mean that. I looked it up. Not making that up. It's the coldest ever.
That is a very cool day. Negative 128. Chris, looking for Dame in the corner. A corner Dame look. We don't see a whole lot of those.
You start shooting those 22-foot three-pointers in the corner, because the corner three, as the basketball experts know, it's actually closer, because when they changed the three-point line to make it further away, they ran out of room, so they had to kind of flatten it out over there.
Hey, as long as it goes in, right?
As long as it goes in. Us three-point shooters, we know that's the closest three-point shot in an NBA game. That's why you camp out in the corner, spot up, get the close ones.
You didn't even have to look it up. The feet, you just knew it off the top of your head as a good shooter. Loose ball to play in the first quarter. Time for a quick look. Dan Bona. How much of a psych to lock it down against a team with no Embiid, no Andre Drummond, no Kyle Lowry, no Paul George?
Yeah, I do. I think because, look at that, ended up in the right hands. Sometimes a logical test, and it's a test that this team has really passed. Because just think about last game against Toronto. Good defense there by Rollins. Look, Milwaukee knows that Toronto, they had just won 2 games, but they're one of the worst teams in the league, and they come out, they do a great job in the first quarter. They're locked in, they're playing defense, they end up winning that game easily. And so, right there, I think they've really had some nice tests the last few games.
Chris Middleton, I thought he was going for the dunk.
Yeah, that was when I go to coffee, in town, I'll walk on the street.
That's the way you walk?
No, I think.
And that's your outfit,
when
too,
I
right?
see the FBI agent folks, I know right away, I think, look, there's one. Look at the way they're walking. You can tell, you're right.
You think I'm
an FBI agent? I'm not.
No. No. Maxey flips it back. Here's Pete Nance over in the corner.
Cleaning up rebounds and taking up space in the paint. He's a problem for everybody. Obviously.
Just a grace.
Taking his time, and he's always got Giannis in the corner of his eye, keeping an eye on where he's at, and the timing that he gets him the ball is so beautiful.
Largest lead is here at 8 points. Chris heads up play, taps it to Ryan Rollins. Coming off the bench.
He'll shoot it, but he's looking for Giannis.
And Chris with that soft. And he has now tied Marcus Johnson. How about that for 5th on the Bucks all-time list for baskets getting, baskets made. Bobby with the block on the 3-point attempts. Catch and shoot here for Nance. Pete Nance signed a team.
He's got some good basketball blood, that's for sure. A brother, his dad, big-time hooper.
Developing a little bit better in these final few minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, Nance making that last three I thought was a big make, just considering what we've seen these last 3 games in the first quarter. Jeez, good D by Giannis against Sack, an average of 18 the last 3 that, you know, you look up and you go up 7. Just not good enough. We're used to, but it really is. It's been how well this Bucks team has played specifically offensively, but in some games holding Orlando to just 16 first quarter points, so defense too.
Bradley Portis in and out. Giannis.
It's a possession with 8 seconds instead of it going the other way.
And just 14 fouls for the Sixers. And why the Bucks aren't in the bonus. Giannis spinning baseline. Wow. I mean, you just shake your head at some of the shots he gets to go. Half-court heave by Maxey.